This is ABC7 News at 11, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Vilgas. Thank you for joining us tonight. Let's head right over to Bob to get the latest on Hurricane Matthew.
Thanks, Haley. We just got the latest in from the National Hurricane Center, and the winds have actually dropped to 115 miles an hour. Still a Category 3 major hurricane, but the satellite imagery tells a different story. Reconnaissance aircraft only finding that kind of wind, but the latest satellite imagery loop continues to show this thing getting better organized. In fact, the eye is reformed. You can see that quite clearly in the last picture right there. Just to the southwest of Georgetown in the Bahamas, or the Central Bahamas. On top of that, you can see this deep red is developed all around the center, which would indicate that this is much a stronger storm, or possibly getting there. It may take a little while longer for the winds to pick up, but by tomorrow midday, it should be back to possibly Category 4 status. The hurricane warnings have been extended now. They exist all the way from just to the north of North Miami Beach, all the way through the east coast of Florida, up through Jacksonville now. So Jacksonville included in the hurricane warning, covering a good chunk of the eastern side of Florida right now. For us, we're under a tropical storm watch, and what that means is the potential is there for some tropical storm force winds. That means winds up to about 40 miles an hour at times, with some of the feeder bands that will work through, and that'll be mainly on Friday morning, midday Friday, and then subsiding later on in the afternoon on Friday. So Friday is the big day for us, although things will start to deteriorate as we move into late Thursday night. And again, the tropical storm watch in effect for most of the counties. Wauchula will be worried about tropical storm winds up to maybe 50 to 60 miles an hour at times, especially on Friday. And so will Sebring and Avon Park in Highlands County. So Highlands County and also Hardee County under a tropical storm warning at this point. We may get back into a warning here too. Here are the latest coordinates with the system. The winds at 115 miles an hour. That's a Category 3 hurricane, still a major one, gust up to 140. It's moving to the northwest at 10. The pressure actually has been falling, and sometimes it takes several hours for the winds to catch up to a pressure drop. And we are noticing that the forecast path and track continue on this northwesterly course. The reasoning behind this really hasn't changed much. It's still pretty similar to what we saw earlier. It does become a Category 4, though, by tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock, with winds up to 130 miles an hour. And that'll be about the peak, we think, at this point. However, don't focus on the cone so much. It may be on the left side of this as well, if high pressure continues to develop to the west and north of it, out ahead of it. And then notice what happens here. It actually can loop back around, and there are a couple of models that show it coming back toward Florida as a much weaker storm, but it does show that. Well, much more on this, and let you know about the rest of the forecast coming up in a few minutes. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. As Florida prepares for Hurricane Matthew to make landfall in the U.S., other parts of the East Coast are already getting ready. States of emergency have been declared in Georgia and the Carolinas. Millions of people are being urged to head at least 100 miles inland. Residents are stocking up, but some store shelves are already empty. Bottled water is dwindling and gas is scarce.
We actually drove to like 4 different stations trying to get gas, and no gas. There was no water at Costco, and people were just grabbing up all the water at Walmart.
The massive storm with 145-mile-per-hour winds causing catastrophic damage in Haiti. Hundreds of homes are destroyed and roads are washed away. So far, at least 11 deaths have been blamed on Hurricane Matthew. We'll have more on the latest track, of course, with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan coming up a little later in our newscast. With elections less than a month away, voters in Manatee County will be asked to approve a half-penny sales tax increase for the school district as well as for the county itself. And today, the city of Bradenton came up with a wish list. ABC7's Ray Collins joins us with that, as well as the words of one taxpayer who thinks the city should spend the money it has a little more wisely. Ray.
Haley, the vote is still weeks away, but already they know where they'll spend the money in the city of Bradenton. If voters approve the half-penny sales tax in Manatee, the county could gain some $30 million more a year, and that would mean about $4 million more for the city of Bradenton.
If the citizens were to enact the sales tax, this is how the city would spend its money.
Bradenton City Commissioner Patrick Roff showed us the list of priorities on the city's wish list.
Our biggest need is transportation, with 42% of the monies generated going towards transportation. Public safety is another big, it's a very expensive item for the city of Bradenton. We would be committing, according to this recommendation, 27% of the monies into that. Parks and community facilities, And then last, stormwater, 18% on the 10-year capital improvement plan.
Roth says they are all much-needed projects for the city, and many taxpayers agree. They say it's better that tourists and visitors help pay for infrastructure, not just property owners. But not everyone agrees.
And spend, and there'll be no accountability.
Corey Holmes, who recently ran and lost his bid for county commission, believes government in general often spends more than it has to, and if forced to cut costs and save money, they wouldn't need additional revenue. So do you think the money's there already?
Correct. The public has to be reassured that its county officials and city officials are spending the money prudently and wisely, and I can tell you right now that's not happening.
Now, we stress there are, of course, two sides to every story, and if approved, the tax would be in place for 15 years, Haley.
And Ray, this is entirely separate from the half penny being requested by the school district.
That is correct. That would also be a 15-year program as well.
All right, thank you, Ray. An investigation into the actions of one of the 3 finalists running for superintendent for Sarasota County Schools is now complete. Todd Bowden is currently Sarasota County's Director of Career, Technical, and Adult Education. The Sarasota County Superintendent, Lori White, requested an investigation into allegations surrounding Bowden. According to a school district representative, the report was submitted to Superintendent White yesterday, and she determined there was no basis for disciplinary action. The school district will not release the report before October 14th. No details on the allegations have been released. The school board is expected to make a decision on the superintendent position on October 18th. A scary end to the school day for 20 students in Manatee County. A school bus was hit by a car on 26th Street West in Bradenton. FHP reports the car failed to stop while exiting a private driveway. The car hit the side of the school bus. 20 students were on board at the time of the crash. No injuries have been reported. Business leaders from all around the community came together today to hear from a top career executive. Chris Hart is the president and CEO of Career Source Florida. He talked about the workforce challenges in our state at today's meeting of the Minds Luncheon in Sarasota. Leaders from different industries discussed the challenges that employers face.
With the recession, we had a lot of our workforce leave the area, and so now that we're coming out of that recession, we need a trained workforce to fill those positions as they begin to emerge from our companies who are starting to do better.
Career Source Florida is the statewide workforce investment board. The organization partners with the Department of Economic Opportunity to connect businesses with employees. Straight ahead, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with the official Suncoast forecast and the latest track on the hurricane. Plus, speaking of potentially affecting an important project in Central Florida, we'll see if that's the case. And we'll also check in with Sarasota and Manatee County schools to see if they will remain open in anticipation of the storm.
What does it mean when New South Window says Factory Direct?
It means we have a factory.
It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct pricing.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. Replacing your windows will not just beautify your home, but save you big bucks on your energy bills. I've done the research. I've seen the factory. New South Window is my hands-down choice.
New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little Sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Thank you, my fellow Americans. As your candidate for president, I will make bling affordable with Spectralite diamonds.
Spectralite diamonds are manufactured in laboratory conditions to equal the finest natural diamonds.
This political message was brought to you by Created Gems and the Bling Party.
Big bling for little change for you.
Hurricane season is here. Are you prepared? ABC7 has the information you need. Access our special Surviving a Hurricane now. Learn how to prepare a readiness plan and survival kit. Know your evacuation route. Be prepared, Suncoast, when severe weather threatens. Access our special on our ABC7 app and all our live streaming platforms.
Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku.
Bob, this continues to be one monster of a storm.
Yeah, and it's going to get bigger and badder, too, it looks like, throughout the day tomorrow. I know a lot of people are from the East Coast over here tonight, kind of waiting to see what's happening, which is kind of amazing. You think about it. We are looking at the possibility of a Category 4 hurricane just moving right along the east coast of Florida, which is going to be devastating for them. For us, a different story. You know, it's not going to be nearly as bad here. We're going to have some showers, some bands of rain will come through at times, some tropical downpours, and a possibility at one or two times in Sarasota, Manatee County to see some tropical storm force winds, maybe up to 40 gusts. We've had that before, though, with storms that have moved on through. Nothing too intense here along our coast, but that could change a little bit depending upon the future motion and movement of the storm. But more and more now that we're looking at it, it still looks like it's going to be a mainly East Coast storm at this point with some residual effects here along the West Coast. 40 to 50% chance now still of these low-end tropical storm gusts as these bands move through, and that's mainly on Friday morning. We'll start to taper off later on the day on Friday. And then Hardee and Highlands County by far will get the brunt of the heaviest storm for the Suncoast, at least at this point. And the toughest time, as I mentioned, will begin at Thursday night, but more so throughout the day on Friday when we can experience the strongest winds. And they shouldn't be all that terrible. It could down some trees and some branches and so on and so forth, especially inland counties. But we're not looking at any surge, and the tornado threat is really quite low because the tornado threat usually is to the east of the center of the storm, and that's going to be offshore for the most part. We will get these bands of showers that come through, and there's a slight, very slight chance we may see an isolated tornado move on through, but not tonight. Just some light rain possible, and those showers are widely scattered. This is something I showed earlier. This is the longest area I've ever seen in Florida, and for that matter, the United States, under a hurricane warning. It goes all the way from North Miami, right on in through the East Coast, all the way up now to Jacksonville, over 300 miles of warned area along the east coast of Florida. And that is very expensive, folks, as far as loss of revenue from businesses and organizations and companies. They estimate it to be about $1 million per mile. So get that and figure that one out. As far as the watches go, we are under a tropical storm watch, and what I'm looking at is 20 to 30 mile an hour winds, gusts as high as 40 in Manatee and Sarasota, Charlotte, as well as into looks like DeSoto County. Now that means that we'll have that mainly on Friday morning through early part of the afternoon. A bigger wind inland, which can down trees, power lines into Highlands and Hardee County. And as far as the surge goes, because it's moving parallel with the coast, it shouldn't be that intense. There will be some significant surge, however, but not nearly as much as a right angle approaching storm like we saw with Andrew. 81 degrees currently. It's warm. It's muggy. It feels like 87 degrees out there. Winds aren't that bad right now. Northeast at 10. Those winds tomorrow night at this time should be around 20. The high today was hot. 92, 93 is the record. Close to that. 87 is our average. No rainfall to report. And it looks as though we won't see much tonight. A few spotty showers are possible. Temperatures are pretty much warm across the area as a result of that warm tropical air out ahead of Matthew right now. And temperatures into the upper 70s to low 80s here. 80 degrees in Venice, 77 in Lake Placid. Mayaca City at 79 degrees. While the high pressure ridge, the mid-level high, is still driving this to the northwest. Eventually, that is going to pull off to the east. And when that happens, we'll start to see more of a northerly bend to the storm. But until that happens, it's still northwest. So there's still a chance on that cone of uncertainty I showed you that it could be on the western edge of that. So that would make a little bit more rough conditions for us. Just an explosion of storms. I've been watching this for the past hour. And now you can see a well-defined eye, deep convection around the entire system. Yes, this may be going through rapid intensification like we saw down in the Caribbean when it went from a 1 to a 5 in less than, for the most part, 24 hours. And that is still a possibility. However, the Hurricane Center is suggesting a 4 by tomorrow at 8 o'clock, at 1:30, and then making landfall near Cape Canaveral if you follow the center line. But I mentioned if it's on the left-hand side, a lot more harsh conditions here along the west coast of Florida that would be. But for the time being, things are looking pretty good. A lot of the models agree with the fact that it's going to do that and then eventually loop around. Wanted to show you this one graphic before we get to the forecast. This is what we're going to see at the winds. The winds picking up tomorrow. These are gusts up to 24, which isn't too bad. And then by Friday morning, though, 34 miles an hour out of the north-northwest and up to 43 in places like Highlands County. And then they start to subside somewhat again by Friday. And that wind radius continues to grow, and that means some very harsh conditions along the East Coast. This could be one of the biggest storms I mentioned as far as devastation, destruction goes in Florida's history if it follows right along the coastline there. Northeast winds 15 to 20 knots. Seas will be 2 to 4 feet with choppy conditions out there. And as far as the forecast goes, we are anticipating tides upcoming 258 for a high tide. A low tide will be at 119. Tonight, warm and muggy. A few showers are possible. Tomorrow, expect increasing clouds, high of 88. Still warm and a 40% chance for scattered afternoon storms. Feeder bands moving through on Friday, windy conditions, and then still a bit breezy on Saturday, but looking much better as we head into Sunday and Columbus Day. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. Heavy rains could complicate efforts to manage pollution following the Mosaic sinkhole. It opened up beneath the fertilizer plant's pile of toxic waste. The plant's owner, Mosaic, is pumping out water through a well while preparing to plug the huge hole under one of its gypsum stacks. Governor Rick Scott is concerned about protecting land and people's lives.
4 different stations trying to get gas and no gas. There was no water.
Governor Scott has requested President Obama declare a pre-landfall emergency for the state of Florida. This request would provide resources from the federal government, such as food, water, and tarps. Manatee County is once again offering residents free sandbags as a precaution for the arrival of Matthew. The county is not currently under any weather-related watches or warnings. We do have, actually, as Bob mentioned, we do have that tropical storm watch, but out of caution, sandbags are being handed out at 5 different locations, even though we are not under that hurricane threat directly here on the Suncoast. Buffalo Creek Park, GT Bray Park, Lakewood Ranch Park, Stormwater Ops, and the Rabonia Community Center. The sandbags will be handed out tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Schools on the Suncoast have not announced any closures due to Hurricane Matthew. The Manatee County School District tweeted today that officials are in constant contact with county emergency management regarding the hurricane. If the storm stays on its projected path, the schools will remain open Thursday and Friday. No word yet from Sarasota County regarding any school closures. Sports is next, but first, here's Jimmy Kimmel.
I've seen the future, and it is this. You know, he's backstage right now waiting to get on the show. We could... Can we ask him?
No, I don't want to put him on the spot.
Well, look, there it is.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Game on, Suncoast. Get scores and highlights from the area's top high school matchups on Football Friday night, just after the news at 11:15. Sponsored by Gulf Coast Honda.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess?
You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on the pedal. You get a clean mop pad that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second Spin Mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPV.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, we make sure you get the most for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2016 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month, complimentary maintenance included. At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Now, sports.
The National League wild card round just wrapped up moments ago at Citi Field in New York. The San Francisco Giants taking on the New York Mets. It was a scoreless several innings. Almost the entire game was scoreless. That is until the bottom of the ninth. This is why I love baseball. Just moments ago, the Giants scored a 3-run home run to take the lead in the top of the ninth. And that would be the final score. The Giants take this one and they will advance to face the Cubs. During last night's newscast, we gave you a glimpse into the AL wildcard game. The game was tied at 2 in the 11th inning, but just moments later, victory is served. During the bottom of the 11th, Blue Jays' Edwin Encarnacion drives one deep, and it is out of there. A 3-run game-winning homer. So same kind of situation here. The Blue Jays will move on to face the Rangers tomorrow night. Our ABC7 Athlete of the Week has an amazing story. The one thing he loved most, football, was taken away from him 2 years ago. Miraculously, as Don Brennan shows us, 2 weeks ago, it was given back to him.
Michael Burtz is a linebacker and a running back for the St. Stephen's football team. When he's on the field, he's said to play with a lot of heart. The irony is that it's his heart that has kept him off the field.
I honestly felt perfectly fine when I went in. I've always had a heart murmur, and every 2 years I'd go in to the cardiologist and just have him check on it and make sure it was normal. That's when he found out about the condition.
That condition is hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, the same condition that led to the death of Hank Gathers during an NCAA basketball game.
I was devastated. I mean, sitting in that room with the doctor and both my parents, just looking at their faces, I mean, that's what really hurt me.
That was 2 years ago, and Birch had not played since. Then, as if his prayers were answered, he was cleared to play recently.
I'm so excited. It feels great. I mean, never thought I'd see the day where I'd actually be able to play another down. I mean, It's crazy.
We did not expect him to come back with a normal MRI. We did not expect him to be in a situation where there were no changes over the last 2 years, and in fact that he looks healthier now than he did then in the eyes of the doctors.
Birch has been practicing, and he'll make a very triumphant return to the game action Friday night against Out of Door Academy.
I don't think we can overstate, right, this emotional rush that's going to be there for our kids. Our kids are thrilled about having Mike back. Obviously, he helps us as a team, but to see a young guy who did all the right things for 2 years get an opportunity to sort of finish his career on his own terms, you can't state how big that is.
Every snap going forward is a blessing, you know. I mean, never gonna, go half speed again. Got a new love for the game.
His parents and everyone else at the school await the big night that they thought they'd probably never see again.
His dad absolutely extremely emotional, and he feels like he too, I will tell you, Michael's done all the right things. He stayed the course in the classroom, he stayed the course, and from an integrity standpoint, he's always been a great kid. And to get his career back as a player, there are no words for that.
Congratulations to Michael Birch of St. Stephen's Episcopal School. He is our ABC7 Athlete of the Week.
And that's a look at sports. We'll have tonight's winning lotto numbers straight ahead.
The all-new MySuncoast.com. Just another way we're here for you.
This is a special health alert for seniors suffering with joint pain. If you have Medicare insurance, you may qualify for high-quality support braces at little or no cost.
I'm thrilled with my knee braces.
Now, there is a simple and proven solution for seniors to get out of pain with state-of-the-art support braces.
I barely feel any pain at all.
Braces for your knees and back, as well as your shoulders and ankles, too.
I'm so happy with the quality of these braces.
Call now, and you could qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
I can play ball again, and it doesn't hurt.
And because of my Medicare coverage, it costs me next to nothing.
So call now.
And because I have this red, white, and blue Medicare card, my braces have cost me just about nothing.
It's true. You may get a knee, back, shoulder, and ankle brace at little or no cost.
They qualified me for 2 knee braces and a back brace.
If you have knee or back pain, give them a call. They can help.
1-800-476-8967. 1-800-476-8967.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
Get to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today for deals worth celebrating during the Jeep Celebration event. Come shop the area's largest selection of Jeep Wranglers, or check out a new Jeep Cherokee priced as low as $19,999. Stop by to see the stylish new Jeep Renegade starting at just $17,699. Or drive away in a new Jeep Patriot for just $14,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
Call right now to get your free Senior Care Compass ebook. Find out about the 5 best-kept secrets on financing senior care and assisted living.
Call now, 800-290-0352. 800-290-0352.
Nike is raffling off 89 pairs of its Back to the Future sneakers. The special edition Nike mags are replicas of the self-lacing sneakers worn by Marty McFly in the iconic Back to the Future movie. Tickets for the online lottery are just $10 and they can be purchased by U.S. and Canadian customers. The lottery closes on October 11th. Winners will be notified about a week later. All proceeds from online lottery ticket sales for these kicks will be donated to the Michael J. Fox Foundation. So you might as well. It's a fantastic cause.
Yeah.
It's only $10.
Yeah, not much. $10.
Yeah, I mean that's they don't self-lace.
I was just wondering. Yeah, you get that part of it too. Oh, you to work that in there.
Isn't it funny how we thought all those things would be like in the future, right?
And hoverboards, all that stuff.
Hasn't really come true yet. No, but that's okay.
Lots have gotten on the weather app, and also the news app too on our phones. So we want to stay in touch. You can go through our weather app as well as our news app and get all the latest weather and great information. I just dialed into we're loaded the weather app here on my phone, and you're able to actually see the track of the hurricane. You can click on certain spots. It'll tell you the dates and times and how much the wind is expected to be at that point. So
everything you need to know.
Pretty nice.
All right, and stay tuned for Good Morning Suncoast.